Between the Lines rolls on. 1160 ESPN. Matt Schultz, Eric Silverman in studio. Time now for our Wells College Review. Joining us, Mike O'Brien, the women's basketball coach of the Wells Express. Mike, team looks pretty solid this year. You're 2-1 right now in conference play. Overall, how do you think the outlook is? What do you think the outlook's like for your team as you progress through the rest of the season?
Well, we're looking forward to the rest of our season. We've got 14 conference games left. The majority of our schedule is spent in conference, and we're in our third year of having a program here at Wells College. This is our third year, so we're doing very well. We're still kind of on the young side. We start 2 freshmen and 1 sophomore and 2 juniors. So we're looking forward to having not only this year's season contending for a playoff spot in our conference championship tournament, but also looking forward to next year, too, as well.
And looking at your team, a player that stands out to me a lot is Ashley Roser. Nearly 17 rebounds a game. That leads all players in D3 women's basketball. What makes her such a dynamic player when it comes to picking up the ball?
She's just one of those really gifted natural athletes that has a nose for the ball. She only stands about 5'8", but she's got an incredible vertical leap. She's out of the Utica Rome area in New York State, and I saw her as a senior, and she would put up huge numbers. 35 points, 31 rebounds in one of the games that I saw her play, and I thought to myself, I was recruiting for our first team, and I said, gosh, we're never going to get this kid. But she was playing center for her high school team, so she was very undersized, so she wasn't getting a lot of guard work out on the outside. So, from a Division III standpoint, being able to bring her in here, and she plays the small forward and power forward spot for us, so she gets some good matchups, and she just has one of those motors and those nose for the ball that, when a loose ball is up there on the board, she just has great timing, knows how to go after it, and has really good skills on the rebounding boards.
Mike O'Brien, basketball coach for the ladies at Wells College. And Mike, Rozier is obviously a standout player. We mentioned first in the nation in rebounds. She's 6th nationally in double-doubles, 19th in scoring. She's scoring over 20 points a game. But as you continue to build this program, it's more about the team, I imagine, than the individual players that are on it. What do you look to get out of a team that's only in its third year?
Yeah, we're really in that process of growing all the time. We're looking to improve all the time. And Ashley, really, although she has put up some really outstanding numbers, she'd be the first one as we go further along and recruit more and more classes in. She's the first one that's willing to give up some of those stats in favor of, more wins for the program as we grow as a program. And it's one of the things that her and I talked about early on during her first year. I said, as you go through your career here, we're going to look to improve on wins as we put more talent kind of around you. And at the same time, your stats may fall off, from what you're putting up now, which is incredible numbers. I think she averaged about 21 points and 14 rebounds a game as a freshman. And she said, Coach, that's perfectly fine with me. It's all about winning, and it's about the team attitude. And now we're really starting to get those pieces in. And, going forward off of next year, we'll actually graduate our first set of recruited athletes that are here at the college for our program. So, my eyes on the future, too. It's growing the program now, but looking down the road, too, as we really would like to become a perennial power in our conference.
Well, already started setting some program records this past weekend with 83 points against Penn State Berks on Friday. You split this past weekend, and the Express back in action tomorrow at Hamilton. And then on Saturday, you're at home taking on Penn State Harrisburg. Your school is 4-2 in the past 6 games at home against conference foes. What's the atmosphere like for folks who maybe haven't been to an Express game and want to head over to Aurora? What's the atmosphere like for a Wells Express home game?
Well, we really have created a lot of excitement. We get a lot of great support from the administration here. I see a lot of professors that actually come to some of our games, as well as administrators from the college. And it's a really kind of a small community feel to it, but when we come out onto the floor for our games, we always get tremendous support. It's usually pretty loud in the gym, and we really have a great student body here that comes out and supports us, really kind of gets behind not only our team, the women's team, but also our men's team too. And it can be an electric atmosphere, and when we get the ball rolling, a lot of times if we're pressing on the court and we have a good run, it becomes quite loud in our field house. And it's exciting to see for the college, not only just our program, but the men's program too as well.
Well, Mike, you've gotten the program up and running awfully fast, playing well in just the third season in its existence. Wish you the best of luck at Hamilton College tomorrow. Thanks so much for joining us today on Between the Lines.
No problem, guys. Anytime. I thank you a lot.
Mike O'Brien, head coach of women's basketball for the Wells Express. I wonder, it's the third season of that program, and they're competing. You wouldn't even expect them to be competitive that early on, would you?
I don't know, Matt. I really don't know.
It's tough to recruit a whole new group of players.
It is a little different for D3, though. For D1, it's very tough because it has to do a lot of the history of the program, build up scholarships. For D3, I think at any D3 school, you're selling the school itself. For Ithaca College, for Cortland, for Wells, you're selling people to come to your college. And especially for, it's only the sixth season or sixth year with men at Wells College, but it has a very long history of being a great academic school. It's right on Cayuga Lake, a beautiful campus. So I think if I was a D3 recruit, I knew I couldn't get a scholarship anywhere, and then I go over to the Wells College campus, especially if it's a spring, summer, or fall day, I'm saying, yeah, I'm going to come here. I'm going to come to school here.
Yeah, it's certainly beautiful over there in Aurora.